Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Is America Becoming More Hindu? Rise of Paganism in the US. I what paganism. Every time I've heard paganism in terms of like movies and stuff, it's usually I guess it is multiple gods. But it's usually like a very specific like I guess like Celtic or European, like older European religion. But perhaps paganism is just multiple gods. I never, I never associated paganism with just multiple gods. It's always been multiple gods in in Europe. So like France, like the medieval type stuff. So I wouldn't even call the Egyptian religion there as paganism. I don't know if there's a terminology for believing in multiple gods just in general, but maybe it is paganism. I never really looked at the definition because I've just always took it in from like movies and stuff, and in those movies it's always been medieval type stuff because that's the rise of Christianity at the time, and so there's Christianity overtaking the pagan religion. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Well, let's see. Is America becoming more Hindu? I think so. Now, this is to say that if Hindus to say that you believe in spirituality, but not necessarily a single deity or no deities in general, where everything. The reason why I say this is because there's this person that I talked to. I remember asking her what the spirituality means to her. She said that she doesn't really know, but she believed that God is everything essentially. Everything that you see is God essentially, or everything is God. So very much in terms of Advaita Vedanta, in terms of Brahman, that everything is. Is there anything else? And there are, I think Christianity is kind of on a downhill slope. Not too much per se. um, and I think more people are becoming more, say, agnostic or atheists or spiritual. So to say that is Hinduism on the rise or spiritualism on the rise in America, yes, it's not a lot, but it's on the rise. Much like how Christianity is on a downslope, but not a lot. It's the same with Hinduism, or not Hinduism, but just spirituality, which includes Hinduism or perhaps other things, are on the rise. Let's go ahead and get started.
Hail to the guardians of the Eastern Watchtower.
वेस्टर्न देशों में पेगन यानी नॉन क्रिश्चियन आइडियोलॉजी काफी पॉपुलर हो रही है.
Welcome home to my community.
A ward is a type of protection spell, but it's used for preventative purposes.
These are the Zodiac signs who are the most humble according to your tango.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that Zodiac sign stuff. Ooh. I remember watching this video, where there's this one woman, they're interviewing college people, and it tends to be women that believe this a lot more. But the one thing that kind of stuck out is that they talk about zodiac signs, but they also talk about like your moon signs on top of your zodiac sign. So when your zodiac sign says this, you have to look at your moon sign and your sun sign. And I'm like, it's gotten more complicated since just zodiac sign.
Right hand is used for actions, while your left hand is used for intuition.
और ये कैसे समय पर हो रहा है जब इंडियन प्रैक्टिसेस जैसे योगा और मेडिटेशन भी अमेरिका में बहुत पॉपुलर हो रहे हैं. लाखों लोग इन्हें प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं और ये एक बहुत बड़ी
Okay, so I will say this, just a slight counter. I don't know if it's going to change it up here, but it's not true yoga though. This yoga is more in terms of meditation is there. I don't think it's genuine yoga, as in it does have some aspects of true yoga, but it's a lot of stretches, absolutely. There's meditation, absolutely, but I think it's missing the mark. It's more of a commercialized version of yoga versus genuine, true Hindu yoga. So there's still some, like, it's kind of like, I don't know how to say, but like, okay, it has meditation and it has stretches, which is in yoga, but they're not saying you're doing this to become more spiritual, you're doing this to become more connected, you're doing this to discover one's true self. It's more along the lines, you're doing this to relieve stress.
इंडस्ट्री भी बन गई है।
I think.
Welcome to Yoga with Adrian.
I have an awesome yoga sequence for you today.
We're going to begin in a cross-legged position. We call this Sukhasana.
It's also a great way to start your day in the morning.
Close your eyes. No need to pretend to be anywhere else.
और ये प्रैक्टिसेस इतनी बड़ी हो गई हैं कि कई क्रिश्चियन कंजर्वेटिव्स भी इस बात से बहुत नाराज हैं।
Worshipping pagan idols to own the traditionalists, to own the conservatives.
और वो नाराज इसलिए हैं कि नॉन क्रिश्चियन प्रैक्टिसेस की पॉपुलैरिटी एक ही समय पर बढ़ रही है।
Oh, gotta pause there. So Christianity is on the downfall for sure.
जिस समय क्रिश्चियनिटी की डिक्लाइन हो रही है वेस्टर्न देशों में।
Yes, religious and that's on the rise. Well, I mean, you kind of take it like this too, though. I'm sure Hinduism was on a maybe. Let me know if I'm wrong. Kind of on a decline also in Hindu countries for the most part, especially in India, whereas it's becoming more, I believe, what's the terminology for it? Secular or agnostic as well. So even in like he makes the crying noise. I actually kind of like the guy there. I don't know if I agree with everything he says, but a few things he does say I do agree with. I'm not religious though, so that's the thing that I would say I disagree with him on. But again, I'm not going to say that no one can practice their religion. Obviously, if your religion forces someone else to do something they don't want to do, 100% against it. If your religion just tells you to, make yourself happy, so long as you don't affect other people's happiness, don't have a problem. But there are religions out there that are trying to force themselves onto other people, which is 100% wrong in my opinion. So again, it's very much true. I think most countries? Oh, I know the Western is. And let me know if India is kind of the same way, where Hinduism is kind of the decline. Well, it seems like it from at least from the videos I've watched in terms of Sadhguru. That's it, because Swami Sarvarpiyananda, Swami Tadamananda is in America, so they wouldn't have a say. Sadhguru is kind of all over the place, but he does a lot of the talks in the colleges, which I get the how do you say? And also Acharya actually, but he doesn't really speak on. At least I haven't watched a video where he says, Hinduism is kind of in a decline, or Advaita is in a decline. I know he's trying to rise it up. Both of them are. But I do get that hint from Sadhguru, where spirituality is kind of on a decline, and more secular or agnostic point of view are slightly on the rise.
जो लोग अपने आप को क्रिश्चियंस की तरह आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, उन लोगों की संख्या काफी गिर रही है वेस्टर्न देशों में। तो आज इस ट्रेंड के बारे में बात करते हैं। क्या वेस्टर्न देशों में क्रिश्चियनिटी कम हो रही है और वो हिंदुइज्म या एटलीस्ट पेगन प्रैक्टिसेस को और अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं? ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? वेस्टर्न देशों में रिलीजन का क्या फ्यूचर है और कैसे इंडिया और खासकर हिंदुइज्म के पास एक बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी है इन देशों में? क्या है वो अपॉर्चुनिटी? आइए पता करते हैं। हेलो श्याम शर्मा शो के इस एपिसोड में आपका बहुत
It has the double pitchfork on his name. It's kind of funny.
बहुत स्वागत है। मैं हूँ सेकुलरिज्म का सीईओ श्याम शर्मा और आप सबको एक सेकुलर प्रणाम। तो देखिए, वेस्टर्न देशों में पेगनिज्म कैसे बढ़ रहा है, इसको समझने के लिए सबसे पहले हमें समझना पड़ेगा कि पेगनिज्म होता क्या है।
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
देखिए, जिस तरह लोगों को ये नहीं पता कि पप्पू एग्जैक्टली होता क्या है, उसी तरह से पेगनिज्म की भी कोई एग्जैक्ट डेफिनेशन नहीं रही है। पेगन शब्द क्रिश्चियंस के द्वारा इस्तेमाल किया जाता था उन लोगों को डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए जो लोग क्रिश्चियन आइडियोलॉजी में नहीं मानते थे, चाहे वो पॉलीथियस्ट्स हो, नेचर वर्शिपर्स हो।
That's it. Polytheism is to believe in multiple gods. But that's the reason why I believe that paganism was more specific to like the Celts, because and again, mostly in the Western world. So I was kind of right. Polytheism. I haven't heard that terminology in a long time.
या एग्नोस्टिक्स हो, ऐसे लोग जिनको भगवान में कुछ खास विश्वास भी ना हो, फिर वो चाहे हिंदूज हो या अमेरिकास के मायंस या इनकास हो या यूरोप के ग्रीक्स और रोमन्स हो या फिर तिब्बत के बुद्धिस्ट हो या जापान के शिंटो हो, इन सब को पेगन माना जाता है। और पेगन हमेशा क्रिश्चियंस के द्वारा
Sorry, I'm going to have to be pausing a lot to... Oh my god. So pagan, spiritual stress right from the start until the 20th century. People did not call themselves pagans to describe the religion they practiced. The notion of paganism is, as it is generally understood today, was created by early Christian church, yes. It was a label that Christian applied to others, one of those antitheses that were central to the process of Christian self-definition. Absolutely. As such, throughout history, it was generally used to derogatory sense. I wouldn't say it was derogatory. Again, it could be, but I never saw it as that way. But obviously, Christians don't like anything other than their own religion, so I wouldn't doubt it. But I also believe it's a way of describing other people. Or not other people who believe in different religion. And I've, at least in terms of the movies and stuff, I've always seen it as like the old religion, those religion that was there before Christianity became popular in the Western world. So the Celts, I don't know, a whole bunch of other, the Vikings maybe, because they believe in multiple gods. So pagan itself was more along the lines of Western old religion of multiple gods. So I don't believe that Egyptians would be considered paganism. It'd be polytheism, or I forgot what the word is. Monotheistic and polytheistic. There we go. Again, because Christianity was mostly in that western part, and would they consider? I don't think they would consider Muslims to be pagans either, because they don't believe in multiple gods. But then again, I don't know everything, so it could be.
एक नेगेटिव सेंस में यूज किया जाता है. जिस तरह से लेफ्ट विंग वाले उनसे डिसएग्री करने वालों को अंधभक्त बोलते हैं, या कुछ राइट विंग वाले उनसे डिसएग्री करने वालों को एंटी नेशनल बोलते हैं. पेगन शब्द का मतलब गांव होता है, और क्रिश्चियंस के मुताबिक पेगन वो गवार थे जो क्रिश्चियन आइडियोलॉजी की विजडम को समझना नहीं चाहते थे. तो अर्ली क्रिश्चियनिटी जो थी वो एक तरह की नॉर्मेटिव इन्वर्जन थी पेगनिज्म की. यानी पेगनिज्म जो प्लूरलिज्म, डाइवर्सिटी में विश्वास रखता था, अर्ली क्रिश्चियनिटी उसका उल्टा था. यानी वो डाइवर्सिटी, प्लूरलिज्म में बिल्कुल भी विश्वास नहीं रखते थे. और इसलिए अकॉर्डिंग टू ऑथर कैथरीन निक्सी एंड हर बुक द डार्कनिंग एज, अर्ली क्रिश्चियंस ने पेगन कल्चर को पूरी तरह से तहस नहस करना शुरू कर दिया. टेंपल्स को तोड़ के, प्रोमिनेंट इंटेलेक्चुअल्स, ऑथर्स और साइंटिस्ट का कत्ल करके, और लाइब्रेरीज को जलाकर. और जब से यूरोप में एंशिएंट पेगन वर्ल्ड का डिस्ट्रक्शन हुआ है, तब से वेस्टर्न देशों में क्रिश्चियनिटी का बेसिकली एक मोनोपोली रही है. लेकिन देखिए, आज की स्टोरी में बहुत सारे ट्विस्ट आने वाले हैं. पहला ट्विस्ट ये है कि ये मोनोपोली आज लगता है थोड़ी डगमगा रही है. पिछले साल प्यू रिसर्च
Yes, I mean, that's very true. Absolutely. Christianity wasn't very, back in its beginning time, was a very small religion living in top of paganism, or a religion that was very dominant at the time. The Roman gods or the Greek gods, I don't know specifics. But that's still true with the Muslim religion as well, where it also seeks dominance, and it only believes in its own beliefs and religions and stuff. And also anyone who's not a Muslim, I believe, again, during back at the time, they were what do you call, blasphemers. And same thing with Christianity. If you're not one of them, then you're going to be ostracized. And also probably both religions are roughly the same at this time. They're both trying to be on a rise, and if you're not with them, they're probably going to torture you, maybe execute you, and maybe, I don't know if there's a kind punishment where they just throw you in jail or something. I don't know. But yeah, both religions were trying to rise up to power, and clearly you saw during the medieval ages there was this 100 Years' War and all these other stuff that's going on between Islam and Christianity.
सेंटर ने रिलीजन पर एक पोल किया था, जहां पर उन्होंने पाया था अमेरिका में ऑलमोस्ट 20% लोग ऐसे हैं जो किसी भी खास रिलीजन में विश्वास नहीं रखते. इनफैक्ट ये पॉपुलेशन अमेरिका के कैथोलिक पॉपुलेशन से सिर्फ 1% कम है. इनफैक्ट जो मिलेनियल जनरेशन है अमेरिका की, वो अमेरिका की हिस्ट्री की पहली जनरेशन है जिसमें क्रिश्चियंस माइनॉरिटी में है. इसी को मद्देनजर रखते हुए फ्रेंच पॉलिटिकल थ्योरिस्ट शांटल डेलसॉल ने एक बहुत कंट्रोवर्शियल किताब लिखी थी जिसका नाम था ला फॉन de la क्रेटियन, जिसका इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन है द एंड ऑफ द क्रिश्चियन वर्ल्ड. उसमें उन्होंने लिखा था कि इस समय पर जो वेस्टर्न देश हैं वो क्रिश्चियन सिविलाइजेशन का एंड देख रहे हैं. उनका मानना है कि आज के जो वेस्टर्न देश हैं वो सेक्स, रिलीजियस बिलीफ, सोसाइटी और फैमिली के जो इश्यूज हैं उन मामलों में क्रिश्चियनिटी से कम अग्री करते हैं और पेगन कल्चर से ज्यादा अग्री करते हैं. तो ऑब्वियसली सवाल उठता है कि भाई ये कैसे हुआ, और यहाँ आता है हमारा दूसरा ट्विस्ट.
Well, I mean, there's a couple of theories I have out there on that. I'll say some of them. Well, a lot of people obviously are wanting to move to the Western world. I know my particular country does, but because they're just trying to find work, so they're willing to move anywhere. But a lot of them do seek the Western world. They seek Europe, America, and Canada. I know that very specifically because my family from my mother's side, They're all wanting to go abroad. Also, on top of a lot of immigration coming to the Western world, the Western world I do believe to be more accepting. So, like especially in America, you have freedom of religion, so you can practice your religion freely. The government cannot stop you. It's not to say that the people themselves, people are not the government. It's weird to say that. Obviously, the people vote for the government powers, but the government cannot stop you from practicing your religion unless, obviously, it's harming people or harming animals and stuff. That's the exception. Like, because there's laws against harming people, obviously, and there are some laws that you can't harm animals in a harming purpose way. Obviously, you hunt deer and hunt animals and stuff, but that's a bit different. You're not doing it for religious purposes, I guess, is the thing. You're doing it for survival or just for food, which you wouldn't really need to do. Anyways, another topic at hand. So, and I wouldn't doubt, and there are some countries out there probably that don't accept any other religion. You must be this or nothing at all. Not a lot of them. I don't know if there's even any, but I wouldn't doubt there could be a few. And in the Western world, they're very much accepting. And I don't know China or Japan or any other places, whether they are or aren't. I just don't know. But anyways, let's continue. And that's probably one of the reasons of the downfall of Hinduism. Plus, also science alone is doing this too, where teaching people science and being facts based, kind of where you question things. When you begin to question religion, if it doesn't have the answers that you want, you begin to question it. So that not only on top of immigration, which is pulling people away from, say, Christianity to other religions, but also science is making people question, religion itself, and then therefore kind of people falling out of it.
हमें प्यू रिसर्च के नंबर्स देख के शायद लग रहा होगा कि ये कोई नई बात है, लेकिन ये खिचड़ी देखिए पिछले 300 सालों से पक रही है। पिछले 300 सालों में यूरोप में क्रिश्चियनिटी बेसिकली एक डैम की तरह है, जिसमें धीरे धीरे क्रैक्स अपीयर हो रहे हैं। डार्क एजेस के समय पर जब चर्च पूरी की पूरी वेस्टर्न दुनिया को कंट्रोल करता था, उस समय ऐसी कोई भी स्पीच, ऐसा कोई भी साइंटिफिक रिसर्च, ऐसा कोई भी लिटरेचर, म्यूजिक या आर्ट जो चर्च अप्रूव नहीं करता था।
Yeah, I was going to say, science was accepted as long as it agreed with the church.
वो अलाउड नहीं होता था। और जब यूरोपियन देशों में एनलाइटनमेंट आया तो यही स्पीच, यही साइंटिफिक रिसर्च, यही इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट और यही आर्ट बहुत तेजी से यूरोप में फैलने लगा। और कई हिस्टोरियंस जैसे कैथरीन निक्सी, स्टीफन ग्रीनब्लैट, पीटर गे, थॉमस ई रिक्स, एंड्रू साइडेल, इन सब ने काफी इंसाइटफुल रिसर्च करके दिखाया है कि ग्रीस और रोम जैसी एंशिएंट सिविलाइजेशंस को डिस्कवर करने के बाद और इन कल्चर से इंस्पायर होने के बाद यूरोपियन एनलाइटमेंट शुरू होता है।
Lucretius is, on the nature of things, is one of the great instances of cultural mobility. Taking it off the shelf and recirculating it, getting it copied, and having it begin once again to be read turned out to have extraordinarily far-reaching consequences.
What we know as monasteries are really just Epicurean communes with a Christian topsoil.
जो फ्रेंच फिलोसोफर्स थे जिन्होंने यूरोपियन रेनेसांस को लीड किया था, पीटर गे जो एक इंग्लिश हिस्टोरियन है, वो तो इन फ्रेंच फिलोसोफर्स को मॉडर्न पेगन्स बोलते थे। तो वो क्रैक्स जो इस डैम में 300 सालों से बन रहे थे, वो क्रैक आज इतना बड़ा हो गया है कि उसमें से बहुत सारा पानी बाहर निकल रहा है। आज के जो वेस्टर्नर्स हैं वो रीपेगनाइज कर रहे हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि देखिए जो क्रिश्चियन कंजर्वेटिव्स हैं, वो सोसाइटीज में बहुत सारी बाधाएं डालना चाहते हैं, चाहे गे मैरिज पर बाधा हो।
It's the middle of Pride Month, and there is a very scary anti-gay, anti-trans obsession on the right across the country right now.
There have been several recent incidents where far-right white supremacist groups have targeted LGBTQ people.
चाहे डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ थॉट पर बाधा हो, चाहे योगा और दूसरी तरह की स्पिरिचुअलिटी पर बाधा हो।
Father Ripperger, is yoga a portal to demonic obsession, possession?
It is.
It's not a big deal. I'm just doing it with good intentions. It's for fun. But if you're sitting under a yoga teacher, a guru, or somebody that does traditional yoga, you're opening the door to spirit.
Yoga, is it demonic? Should Christians participate in it? Listen, it is a door to the demonic realm.
Astrology, zodiac signs, people will look to those because they're looking for signs or answers or this or that. They don't want to look in the Word of God.
If you are involved in tarot cards, if you're involved in astrology and signs and Leo and Cancer and this and that, you're inviting demons in.
Astrology is of the devil, and I'll show you why.
I mean, that's very true. I mean, in terms of at least, I never heard the yoga one, honestly. That's a first for me. But astrology, zodiac signs, the tarot cards, obviously those are very much, I believe, from the Western world, which was very much pagan. It's kind of funny. I've never seen any of those people. It's like opening up the demon worlds and stuff. It's like, Jesus. I'm a bit laughing because of how ridiculous it is. Whenever things go too far, and for me, when things go too far, it becomes funny because it's ridiculous. It's like how can you? It's like how can you believe in this stuff? Are you really serious? Not all the time, but I generally laugh at whenever things go too far.
और वेस्टर्न देशों के जो लोग हैं वो इस तरह की बाधाओं से परेशान हो गए हैं। पिछले कुछ डेकेड्स में क्रिश्चियन सिविलाइजेशन के जो कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, जैसे लैक ऑफ फ्रीडम ऑफ बिलीफ, लैक ऑफ फ्रीडम ऑफ लव।
Oh, jeez, hold on. I need to. Sorry, I'm gonna rewind that because.
क्रिश्चियन सिविलाइजेशन के जो कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, जैसे
Teachers, which commandment is the law is the greatest? Jesus said to him, "You shall love you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. Thou shalt not make up unto thee any grave images, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them." Second of the 10 Commandments. Well, yeah, this is very much Christian, not America itself. Again, you have freedom of religion, so no government. If don't get me wrong, there's going to be people out there who are in government who will try to shut down religion, or if you bring up a religion, but you can fight it in court, and you will win. Because there is, I remember there's a very famous case of this lady who denied a gay couple marriage license when it became legal, which was really stupid. It should have been legal in the first place. Separation of church and state. And anyway, she, prevented this couple from being married, this same-sex couple, and she lost, obviously. She got fired. There are some people behind her. I think it's ridiculous. Again, separation of church. Now, can churches deny people from being married? Absolutely. It doesn't matter. They can deny you regardless of whether you're straight, gay, or whatever. But the government themselves cannot deny you marriage because it's supposed to be a separation of church and state. Plus, it's a legal document, not a religious document.
Lack of freedom of belief, lack of
Yeah. Major religions and same-sex marriage. Here we go. Prohibits same-sex marriage. American Baptist Church, Christian. Yep. Lutheran. Yep. Oh, Islam at the very bottom there. Yeah. And again, do I support churches from doing this? Absolutely, because they're not the government. They're like, the way I look at it, it's like private businesses. In private business, you have a right to deny anyone that you want in a business. You can deny groups of people or just individual people. But that doesn't mean I'm going to support you, because if you deny people because of who they love or because of the color of their skin, you're dumb. But I'll support businesses to deny people what they will, and I will deny business from you. Because again, this is the beauty about freedom, is the fact that if you want genuine freedom, you're going to have to be able to handle situations like this. But again, government's a bit different. Government cannot deny people, and I'm completely against government denying people of same-sex marriage from being married, legally documented. Again, it's a legal document, not a religious document. So I believe everyone has a right to marry who they love, and what else? Yeah, pretty much it.
Freedom of love, lack of freedom of...
This thing that kind of confuses me, trans right. Well, trans rights or human rights. Human right. If you're a human, you have these rights. So there's no such things as trans rights, in my opinion, because human rights, humans above all, trans and whatever else. I don't know. Normal, I guess. I don't know. So human rights, just for everyone. There's no specific rights for individuals or groups of people, because it should apply to everyone.
of sexuality, वो आज की वेस्टर्न जनरेशन के गले नहीं उतर रही। अगर आप आज के वेस्टर्न जनरेशन को देखेंगे तो मोस्ट मिलेनियल्स और जेन ज़ी जो
Yeah, I mean, there should be, well, those probably 30% are probably like extreme religious groups that don't support it. I think most people who are religious support same-sex marriage. As a matter of fact, I do remember a time when churches started to get on a decline of people showing up to it, because a lot of churches denied same-sex marriages, and then a lot of people stopped going to churches, and all of a sudden churches had to make a reverse, like, okay, we can support same-sex marriages, and people started going back to it. Again, hey, look, you can deny same-sex marriages to church if you want, but you're going to suffer the consequences of people not going there. Who knows people who are gay, or, well, this is gay with homosexual, I guess, and that are amazing people, and they just want to love the person they want to love, marry the person they want to marry, marry the person they want to love. Nope, marry the person they love. There we go. And they're against churches who deny them that. Again, the churches can absolutely do it, but they're going to suffer the consequences. Much like if a business denies groups of people just because of a thing they cannot control, then they're going to suffer the consequence of people not buying from that place.
हैं वो गे मैरिज को सपोर्ट करते हैं, ट्रांसजेंडर राइट्स को सपोर्ट करते हैं। आज के लोगों को डाइवर्सिटी पसंद है, वो यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी ढूंढ रहे हैं, और इसलिए वो पेगन आइडियोलॉजी या नॉन क्रिश्चियन आइडियोलॉजी में इतना इंटरेस्ट दिखा रहे हैं, कि चाहे सनातन धर्म हो या दूसरे देशों की पेगन आइडियोलॉजीज हो, वो डाइवर्सिटी को एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए काफी तैयार रहते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल, रोम में जो एलिट्स थे वो ओपनली अपने देवताओं को रिजेक्ट
Thus, elites in ancient Rome might reject the myths about their pantheon deities. This is a crude story, but gods and spirits could be appealed or to worship. It goes to Greek gods.
करते थे, लेकिन उसके बावजूद उन्हीं देवताओं से जुड़े हुए जो त्योहार थे उनको भी बड़ी खुशी खुशी मनाते थे। इंडिया में भी हमने देखा है कि आप चाहे एथीस्ट हो, एग्नोस्टिक हो या रिलीजियस हो, हिंदूज आपके साथ उतनी ही खुशी से होली दिवाली मनाएंगे। हमने इंडिया में एथीस्ट को आरती करते हुए भी देखा है। क्रिश्चियनिटी इतनी आसानी से इस तरह की चीजें अलाउ नहीं करती, और इसीलिए हम देख रहे हैं स्टैटिस्टिकली कि क्रिश्चियंस का जो नंबर है वो वेस्टर्न देशों में डिक्लाइन कर रहा है। लेकिन
But I guess, I don't know if it's going to get into this. But man, this video is going to be very long. I'm going to have to do this a two-parter. This is things I think about, and there's issues here. So, again, you're watching this because you want to watch a reaction, okay? If you want to watch the original, by all means, please stop watching this video and go watch the original, which you should have already in the first place. What was I getting at? Diversity and stuff. The problem with diversity is the fact that it's good in theory. The problem is if you start inviting extremists, that is part of diversity. So it's more of a pick and choose diversity as opposed to genuine diversity. And what I mean by this is, if you genuinely want diversity, that means that you'll accept anyone that is different than you. And a great example of that, say you want murder to be illegal, but then the person that you want to include in your diverse group wants murder to be legal. You are diverse, absolutely diverse, because that is too far extremes. Murder bad, which I would hope everyone agrees with, and murder good, which is terrible, but these are the most extremes. So, or let me say that no death penalty, no death whatsoever, no killing, whether it be murder or self-defense, meaning that you cannot kill someone if he's trying to kill you. And if you kill them, that's a no-no. To the point where murder is completely okay, you can just kill anyone anytime. These are too far extremes. Then you have everything else in the middle, where you find in the middle where killing in self-defense is okay, but you can't murder people just because. Or you have the point where even maybe a little bit more to the left where it's like, well, you can't kill in self-defense, but you can protect yourself. and if you do kill in self-defense, there must be a very good reason that the person that's there is literally trying to kill you, and you have to prove that. So meaning that you can do it, but there's a very, very specific exception. So again, the two extremes, if you want to be diverse, you have to include everyone. Or you're going to be selective diverse, I'll call it selective diverse, where you're not going to be this part or this part. You're going to be somewhere around here, where you can murder the person if they come into your house, or self-defense, sorry. Or you go over here where it's like, if you do kill someone, you have to prove that they're trying to kill you, otherwise you would go to jail. All the way to the point of the middle where, if they get in your house and you get into a rough and tuffle, then if you kill them, then obviously you had that right because you're defending yourself. There's no question because there's quite clearly that you have bruises. This part is not that you have bruises, because people fight all the time, they get bruises, so that's not good enough. So selective diversity, all diversity. So this is what I'm saying about when you talk about diversity, there's the left always talks about it, but it's selective diversity.
रुकिए, ये कहानी अभी भी जस्टिस मार्कंडे काटजू और
And I'm for selective diversity because obviously you can't do both extremes. It's just not going to work out.
ट्विटर की लड़कियों के बीच की लव स्टोरी की तरह ही अधूरी है। इस कहानी में अगला ट्विस्ट ये है कि भले ही क्रिश्चियनिटी डिक्लाइन कर रही हो, लेकिन लोग रिलीजन नहीं छोड़ना चाहते, स्पिरिचुअलिटी नहीं छोड़ना चाहते। प्यू रिसर्च ने भी यही पाया है। जो यंगर अमेरिकन्स हैं जो क्रिश्चियनिटी छोड़ रहे हैं, उसमें से सिर्फ 10 to 15% एक्चुअली एथीस्ट बन रहे हैं। वास्ट मेजॉरिटी जो लोग हैं वो अभी भी अपने आप को स्पिरिचुअल मानते हैं, और इसलिए अमेरिका का सबसे तेजी से बढ़ता हुआ रिलीजियस ग्रुप नन्स हैं। नहीं, ये वाली नन नहीं, वो लोग जो अपने आप को किसी भी रिलीजन से जुड़ा हुआ नहीं।
Sorry, I'm going to be pausing a lot. If it's again, look, you're watching my reaction. If you want to watch the video uninterrupted, please go to the channel. You should have done that in the first place. I'm pausing because I want to see what's also. I can't read the things on the screen at the same time. Religion is so important. Nothing particular and religious. What is a nun? Huh. What is a nun? Interesting. People who don't believe themselves to be from any religion. So you're not religious. Well, it just to me means you don't believe in a higher power per se. No, that's about all it really is. I mean, that's it. It's not to say that, like a God higher power, not like government higher power. Obviously, we can believe government higher power. You can disagree with it, absolutely, but it's just, like a God level like higher power. That's all that nun is to me.
मानते, लेकिन फिर भी अपने आप को स्पिरिचुअल मानते हैं। यही नन्स जो हैं, वो यूएस की सबसे
Oh, geez, hold on, let me rewind that because I want to see like all the here we go. Most religious nuns say questioning religion teaching is an important reason they're there we go, that's what I was saying. Science and questioning unaffiliated. Among the US adults who are religious identity is atheist, agnostic, or nothing in particular who says blank is a very important reason they are unaffiliated. I question a lot of religious teaching. Atheist, agnostic, nothing particular. Yeah, okay. I don't like the position churches take on social and political issues. Atheist. Yeah, okay. I don't like religious organization. I don't mind it, honestly, because it's a great, like, religious organization or organization in general, it's a way of a group of people getting together. So, like, even a country club, like golf, is a organization. It may not be, like, as stringent as a religious organization, but it's just a group of people getting together. Obviously, what they talk about in there is a bit different. I don't believe in God. Atheistic is 89%. How is that not 100? I'm atheist, but I believe in God. 11% of the people in atheists are confused. if I'm reading the stats right. Agnostic, yeah, where he's like, well, I don't believe in any gods that we believe in, but I do believe there's a higher power out there, I guess, but it's just not proven yet. I believe there is a higher power, I think, that one. Religions are relevant to me. Okay, interesting.
वो यूएस की सबसे बड़ी डेमोग्राफिक बन गए हैं। इनफैक्ट क्रिश्चियन कैथलिक्स और क्रिश्चियन इवेंजेलिकल से भी ज्यादा नन्स हैं आज अमेरिका में। इनफैक्ट 18 to 22 एज ग्रुप के जो जेन जी हैं, उसमें 40% अपने आप को नन मानते हैं। और इसलिए प्यू रिसर्च का ये मानना है कि वो लोग जो अपने आप को नन मानते हैं या किसी भी रिलीजन से जुड़े हुए नहीं हैं, वो मानना है कि वो लोग
Seattle atheists. Oh, this is the Apostafarian, actually. This is the spaghetti god.
जो अपने आप को नन मानते हैं या किसी भी रिलीजन से जुड़े हुए नहीं हैं, वो अमेरिका में मेजॉरिटी बनने वाले हैं 2070 तक। तो इसका निष्कर्ष क्या निकलता है? निष्कर्ष ये निकलता है कि लोग ऑर्गेनाइज्ड रिलीजन से परेशान हो गए हैं, लेकिन रिलीजन और स्पिरिचुअलिटी में अभी भी विश्वास रखते हैं। यानी वो इंस्टाग्राम से नफरत नहीं करते, वो इससे नफरत करते हैं।
Can I call you baby?
पहले तू बड़ा हो जा,
बाद में दूसरों को बेबी बुला।
मैसेज तो दूर की बात है मेरी जान, अब मेरे नाम का नोटिफिकेशन भी नहीं आएगा।
मैसेज भी नहीं, नोटिफिकेशन भी नहीं।
और एग्जैक्टली इसीलिए पेगन फिलॉसफी और पेगन आइडियोलॉजी वेस्टर्न देशों में बहुत तेजी से फैल रही है। इंस्टाग्राम पे विचेस ऑफ टिकटॉक एक बहुत ही पॉपुलर हैशटैग है। इनफैक्ट खासकर औरतों में पेगन फिलॉसफी इतनी तेजी से फैल रही है कि अब तो उनका मजाक भी उड़ने लग गया है।
We're going to be looking at zodiac sign cringe.
Will you marry me? Oh my god, is that a Valeria ring? Yes. Wait. What's your sign again?
I just have a few questions to ask you just to make sure that our star signs are aligned.
और भले ही वेस्टर्न देशों के लोग ये रियलाइज ना कर रहे हों, लेकिन जो पेगनाइजेशन हो रही है उनके देशों की, उसमें सनातन धर्म की प्रैक्टिसेस और सनातन
Oh, actually, sorry, I'm going to pause it right actually there at that little nice halfway point. I'll say this, I with the zodiac sign women, I hear that becoming on a rise. Again, probably not a lot of them, but it's on a rise also. I don't know. I say stay away from them. Because if they're willing to believe certain things, at least to me, I don't believe in zodiac signs. I think they're just a fun thing to read. And if you genuinely believe in zodiac signs, the great test would be to have someone cut up a newspaper that reads out the zodiac signs and whatever they are, and you not look at them. And then put the 12 zodiac signs down, and then the description of them you cut separate from them, and then you put them in a basket and you shake them around, and then you read each one and see if you can't put them in the right spots. Obviously, you have to have your friend do this and take a picture of what the originals are and see if you can't get 12 out of 12 right. I don't believe in that, because that means your life is determined. If zodiac signs and star signs are all right, that means you have no free will. Because if you can read the zodiac signs and the star signs and the sun signs and the moon signs and the Jupiter signs and the Venus signs and the Mars signs and the Saturn signs and the Pluto signs, and well, Pluto might be an exception because it's no longer a planet, the Jupiter signs and all these other signs, that means that you can read people's faith and they have no free will. So that's the reason why I don't believe in that kind of stuff. And the women who do, especially very much believe in it, I think are going to be a little bit easily to be manipulated, and maybe a little bit crazy. Again, not all of them. Some of them do that for fun, which is fine. But when you start really believing in it, like really believing in it, it could be a problem in my opinion. And you could have some people who believe in somewhat of it, as in maybe people tend to have these things on certain days of the months or whatever, maybe then, but it's just, I don't believe in your life is set in stone, set in the stars, set in the planets, set in the sun, or the moon, or the waters, or anything else. You have control over your life. So making star signs, zodiac signs, all that irrelevant. Sure, maybe you believe that, these are my tendencies, but the thing is, I read zodiac signs, and like, I have a little bit of this, I have a little bit of this, I have a little bit of this. I'm like, well, I'm not any particular one of these guys, so, But anyways, I don't know if any of these this is just for those of you who follow throughout the entire video. I don't know if any of the previous things are going to be cut. I did have a pause a few minutes ago. I had a cough, like I am now, so I'm not trying to cough too much in the mic. Anyways, I don't know if any other part's going to be cut. I didn't cut, I just had to pause. Because of copyright reasons. If I can't just mute the audio or something, that'd be great. But if I can't mute, it's going to have to be cut, and I just have no control over that. Because it's either I cut it out, or this video doesn't come out. Those are the only options, so do what I can, I'm saying? I'm a small YouTuber, don't have any power whatsoever. So anyways, I guess I do have to cut this in 2 parts. I didn't think I would be speaking this much. I thought I'd get through this video pretty quickly, but apparently not. Apparently I had a lot to say. That's what you came here for, right? Because of me saying something. Anyways, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, the sound down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.